All right, guys, we're going to get started. And yeah, this is going to be good tonight. And I want to introduce our speaker, right? And I have known Todd like forever. We've been friends. We've golfed together. We've hung out. We've done everything, and boasting an extensive and impressive network marketing career that spans over 3 decades. Well, Todd's hands-on experience and wide range knowledge in the field have been instrumental in shaping his unique and effective teaching methods, right? And Todd is a celebrated author, a coach, a podcast host, providing invaluable insights to those who want to navigate the complex world of network marketing. And from his initial steps in the profession to his current status as a seasoned pro, Todd's journey encapsulates the essence of evolution of this incredible field. Ooh, I'm having a little problem here. She got some water. As a network marketer, his teachings have graced over 30 countries worldwide, leaving a positive impact on the careers of thousands of network marketers, right? Whether it is a novice finding their footing or a veteran actually trying to, find out how they can expand their strategies, right? Each individual will find value in Todd's impactful coaching. His distinctive teaching style includes a fusion of raw honesty, captivating humor, his refreshing divergence from the norm. Todd doesn't just instruct people. And I can tell you this right from the, I'm good at shotgunning it from the hip. Reading a bio is not so good. That's not my thing, right? But I can tell you that, he's been at our events. He inspires so many people. And, and he leads by example because he's been in the industry. He's done it. And he's just fosters, an environment of authenticity and shows you what to do. So with that being said, we thought we'd have him on. I called him up and I'm very pleased to have him here. Todd Falcone, it's your stage. The colorful shirt. Oh my goodness.
Thank you for the introduction, Michael. I appreciate it. And JJ, good to hear your voice, and had a little text back and forth with Angie earlier. It's just great to be back with you. And it's Jane, hello. And Jane and I have known each other for quite a while. Just good to be back here. So first of all, I appreciate the opportunity. Obviously, you guys are here to learn, to grow. I want to say this, and this is not something that I can say for every network marketing company that I speak for. And I've spoken, as Michael said, during the written intro that he was getting through there. I've spoken in over 30 countries around the world. I've been speaking professionally to specifically network marketing companies now for almost 19 years, been in the field for 35 years. And so I see everything, I see the good ones and I see the not very good ones. And, Michael hears me say this to him when we talk on the phone, because I give him the kudos, but it's not often that I get to be in front of an audience and talk about Michael in particular, like what you guys have as a company with Essante Organics. I think, first of all, like, you guys got to know that you're in the right place. Like, you guys are in a company that's been, it's been around the block, that they do the right stuff. And in my opinion, and Michael, I've said this to your face a bunch of times, like, you're seriously one of the greatest formulators that I've ever met. So, like, when it comes to like pure, clean, great organic products, like, you couldn't be representing a better brand. And I don't know you guys, I don't know everybody who's here, I don't know if you're new or if you've been around the profession for a long period of time, but so many companies come and go. They're here today, they're gone tomorrow. And this is a place where you can build a future and really succeed and, make an impact, with people's health. And, the ingredients that you guys put out in your products are pure, clean, organic. And as a result of that, make an awful lot of money if you choose to pursue this as a business. I'm assuming if you guys are coming here to watch and listen to me tonight, you probably want to make some money. So I'm assuming this is a group of people that want to succeed here. And like, when I started in network marketing years and years ago, I wanted to know, how do you win? Like, how do you succeed at this? Like, the concept made sense to me. I got introduced to network marketing at the age of 22. I didn't know what it was. I'd never even heard of multi-level MLM network marketing. I didn't know. And then, one of my friends said, "Oh, that's a pyramid." And I was like, wait, I thought pyramids were in Egypt. I didn't even know what a pyramid was. So I didn't even know what they were talking about when they were trying to make fun of what I was doing. So it was like, I just saw it for the pureness of it. Like, here's a cool brand, or here are these products that you can share with other people. You can make a profit by sharing the products. You can build a team. There's no limit to the size of the team that you can build, and you can earn a residual recurring income And I was like, honestly, I was in hook, line, and sinker. So, you know, I'd spent about 17, 18 years in the field building different businesses. Actually, that's when Michael and I first met. We met before I was speaking professionally full time. And so I understand the field. Like, I've never worked for a network marketing company. The only thing I know is what you guys are, independent distributors, you know, organic influencers in your case with your company. So that's the perspective that I come from to you guys tonight. So I just first and foremost just wanted to say, number one, I just think you're in a great spot, and you know, you couldn't be in a better place. And especially for some of, you know, I know what it's like to be brand new and you're sitting there and you're like, you made a decision to join a company. You're like, man, did I make the right decision? Am I doing the right thing? Like, you know, those are the kind of questions that we ask ourselves when we first get started in network marketing. And as an expert from the outside, and by the way, Michael didn't pay me to say that. Nobody paid me. Nobody asked me to say that. I'm saying that because, look, I've watched you guys for a minute. I've watched you guys since the beginning when it was Power Pops, when that was like the original product that you guys had many, many, many years ago. So yeah, I'm just excited to be here and to share with you. And oh, I was on your site earlier. By the way, I'm sure you guys all know this, but you guys have a pretty ridiculously amazing and simple promotion that's going on. What is it like? Enroll 4 of the Go Green packs by the end of the month, which is pretty easy to do. Be on a 100-point order this month and next month, which is ridiculously easy to do. I don't know how, like, if I was in your company, I'd probably be blowing through 500 or 600 points a month personally, but you do that, you enroll 4 Go Green packs, and you win round trip airfare and hotel stay to what, 20 some odd destinations. I was looking at the destinations. By the way, that is one of the easiest promotions I've ever seen. And I'll just tell you, you guys want to reach for that, because one of the cool things is all the social media fodder you'll get from it. You'll be taking pictures, you'll be like sharing stuff. It'll help you promote the business even more. And people are going to be super curious, like, hey, why are you over here? How did you get here? And you're like, oh, this amazing company. Like, I won this trip. You won that trip. How did you win this trip? Well, hey, I'm happy to share. So, you know, I would definitely take advantage of that. I was on your site earlier, as I always do a little bit of research before I, you know, come and train for a company. I'm going to actually go into a little bit of a slideshow here. So I'm going to do a screen share. Hopefully let me just go here and see. I got to put my glasses on so I can actually share my screen here. So hang on, let me see here. Play from current slide. There we go. Beautiful. And I'm sure you guys are seeing that, so that's good. So my subject matter tonight is very straightforward. Is how do you supercharge? I like that word, supercharge. How do you supercharge your recruiting and retention? So that's really the subject matter that I want to talk about with you guys tonight. Look, there's only 2 things that we do in this business, really. We share products and we recruit people who also share products. And that's one of the most amazing things about this profession, is that we get paid by people using our products. That's it, right? So you can go out there and you can retail and you can share products, and you can make you could probably make a full-time, very, very good income just being a product sharer. But the bigger money in this business is by getting other distribution channels those are other organic influencers that you bring in, that you enroll onto your team, and that go out and pursue a business. And that's how, when you hear about, you know, the larger money that's made in network marketing, it's done by building a team. So that's what I'm going to focus on tonight. And I can't do any training without first and foremost talking about this. Again, if you want to be successful in this business, all of your success is really based around your beliefs. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, first and foremost, you're a network marketer. Before you, like, when you wake up tomorrow morning and you represent Essante Organics, you are, first and foremost, you're a human being, yes, but you're an organic influencer with Essante Organics, which is a network marketing company. So you have to be proud to be involved in the network marketing profession. It's interesting. I meet people all over the world that are in network marketing companies that have distributor ID numbers, and they're afraid to admit that they're involved in network marketing. Well, let me give you some real statistics that comes out of the World Federation of Direct Selling Associations. Our profession is a $183 billion a year profession. There's over 100 million people, just like you and me, that are involved as independent distributors around the world. Our industry, the profession of network marketing, has been around for over 80 years. I say all of this because, look, when you go out there, I'm sure you've all heard it, you can't be in network marketing for more than a week and somebody's like, oh, is this one of those things? Is that a, if that, is that, like I already mentioned, is that a pyramid? And it's like, it's interesting because people who ask that question are just simply naive. They just don't know what they're talking about. You can't have a profession that does 183 billion a year globally that's been around for as an established profession for over 80 years and be a scheme. This business model is real. It's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. And you need to be able to be proud to be a network marketer. Like if somebody asks me, what do you do for a living? I got no problem saying I'm a professional network marketer. What about yourself? Like, I'm not going to shy away from, oh, well, and all the things that some people do when they're lacking belief. You've got to be able to get up in the morning, first and foremost, to be excited about the fact that you're involved in an amazing profession that provides the potential to earn what, many CEOs and top level, people that are in large corporations, and be able to do it from your kitchen table. I don't know any other profession where you can earn the kind of money that you can earn in network marketing, where you can do it from wherever you might be. As long as you got a phone and a laptop computer, you can do business pretty much anywhere in the world. I know the second one is like, you got to ask yourself, how do I feel about the products that we bring to the table? Probably most of you were attracted to this business and decided to do this business because you saw how clean the ingredient deck is, how pure the products are that are being put out by Essante Organic. So I know you guys believe in the products, you believe in the company. Those are things that you need to have a conviction in. There's only one variable here, okay? And the variable is you. So like we as individuals are the only variable. We're the ones that are a work in process. And so it's crucial that if you're going to succeed in this business, that you work on your mindset and you're working on your skill set on a daily basis. There's something I do all the time when I'm training. And one of the things, like what I do for a living is I teach people how to get good at network marketing, how to be efficient at it, how to be profitable at it. And if we understand something like competence, that's skill level, ability. If you have a low skill at something, right? Like, okay, so I got these, JJ was talking about these guitars. So I can play the guitar. I'm not going to play it for you right now in the middle of a training, but I'm not an exceptional guitar player. Now, if I brought my kid in here, he would blow your mind. So I'm not going to go play typically in front of an audience of like more than my family. But my kid will go play in front of hundreds of people because he's very, very competent. He's got high skill level. So the higher your skill level that you have, the higher your confidence is going to be. So as I get into this training, the thing that you have to understand is we're all a work in progress. Everybody here has the capacity to learn, has the capacity to get better, has the capacity to improve. So just know that one of your jobs in terms of getting better at recruiting and building and actually being successful here is working on developing your mindset as well as your skill set. Like it's just part of the game. It's part of the process. Now, what I like to do when it comes to building a business is I like to think, okay, well, who do I want on my team? Who do you want on your team? If you could describe like your ideal candidate, like if we're talking in football terms, like if we're going to put together an NFL football team, am I going to go bring the skinny little kid who's 127 pounds, who's never played football before, and try to recruit him onto my football team? No. Am I going to bring the big dude at the gym who weighs 240 and looks like he hits the weights every day, whether he's played football or not? That's probably more likely somebody that I would be bringing onto my team. I look at building a network marketing business like you're putting together a Super Bowl winning team. So if you can get clear with what you're specifically looking for, there's some words on your screen: outgoing, disciplined, successful, ethical, independent, fun, influential, well-connected. If you can get clear in your mind as to what you're looking for, when those people appear in your life, you're more likely to see them. I'm sure that none of you would come up with a list. Well, I want grumpy, complainer, negative, lazy, sofa laying, remote control playing, nasty individuals that are liars. That would not be on anybody's list. So I want you to, it's easier to recruit when you know exactly what you're looking for. And we also have to understand this, like, you know, the number one thing in this business, the number one activity, the number one, you know, people call it IPA, income producing activity, RPA, revenue producing activity, is prospecting and recruiting. It's exposure. So it's not how many posts that you put up on Instagram, how many TikTok videos you did today, you know, how many live videos that you do on Facebook. I mean, those are all things that you can do, but the number one activity that leads to revenue is exposure. So I'm going to do something for you guys tonight that I think will literally change the game for you. I want you to create a new law in your life, okay? Now, there's laws outside that we need to abide by, right? There's speeding laws and other things that we need to, you know, work within the law. That's the way society is. And it's funny because in network marketing, there's not really any laws. I mean, there's laws. Like if you read your policies and procedures, which most people never do, you know, there's responsibilities that you have as an independent representative representing Essante Organics that you have. But there's, other than that, it's kind of like you got to go out and just do your business as you see fit. You know, obviously you want to do it morally, ethically, you know, all those good things. But there's no law that says you need to talk to X number of people a day or you're fired. If you had, can you imagine though, if you had a sales job? If, some of you may have had sales jobs in the past, and they give you what's called a quota. And if you don't make your quota after a particular period of time, they fire you. So because this is an independent contractual relationship, basically, there's no rule that says you have to do anything. You could literally, and many people unfortunately do, they sign up in network marketing companies and they never do anything. And of course, they never make any money. So what I've been teaching for a long time is you need to build a new law in your life with your business. And the law goes like this: never does a day pass until I've done X, or I've never finished my day until I've done blank. And here's what the X or the blank is: daily minimum number of intentional business building reach outs. And it doesn't even have to be a big number. Let's say I'm not going to plant a seed for you. Everybody's different. But let's say you're going to go, okay, I'm going to listen to this guy Falcone. I'm going to do what he's teaching me. I'm going to build a law into my life. And my new law is every day that I show up in my business, my day is never complete until I've done, let's just take a small number, 2 reach outs. 2 invites where I, you know, hey, JJ, I just launched this new business. I'm super excited about what I'm doing. I'd love to show you what I'm up to. If I sent you this website or if I sent you this video, when could you take a look at that today? That's an example of an invite. That's an intentional business building invite. So if and we don't have quitting time here, we don't have 9 to 5. So let's say in this example we did, let's say it's 4:30 in the afternoon and you're done at 5. And your number that you've given yourself, your law that you've given yourself is 2, but at this point you've only done 1. Are you done for the day? No, you're not done. You're not done until you've done a minimum of 2. If you can build, and we have to build discipline into our businesses. It's, you know, and it doesn't even, like I said, it doesn't even have to be some monstrous number. It just needs to be something that you can live up to every single day without fail. And this is why when people come to me, because I run different coaching programs, and I'll give this challenge and I'll get a guy or girl that says 20. I'm like, wow, I love big thinkers, but I'm talking about every single day that you show up in your business, you're going to do a minimum of 20 intentional business building reach outs. You're sure you're not going to ever skip a day? Well, yeah, well, maybe no. So the idea here, this is not a goal that we're striving to achieve. This is a law. It's kind of like, I don't know. I think in America, there's a thing called indecent exposure. Like you can't go walk around naked out in your neighborhood without getting into trouble with the law. Somebody's going to call the cops on you, right? So that's a law that any sane human being, they don't break that law because they know that if they're running around the grocery store with no clothes on, somebody's going to call the cops and they're going to show up and they're going to cuff you and they're going to put you in the back of the cop car naked. So of course, none of us break that law because it's the consequences of breaking it are so significant. Think about this. If you only did 2 reach outs a day, and I'm not saying that this is, I don't want you to stick to that as a minimum, but if your minimum number, like every single day without fail, is a minimum of 2, and you did it every single day, 5 days a week, what's that? That's 10 a week. Let's take 50 weeks a year. That's 500 reach outs, intentional business building reach outs, not even including Saturdays and Sundays. that you did over a 12-month period of time. Where will your business be when you stick to and you give yourself a new law? I've done this with hundreds of different people. I've done it with personal coaching clients, and the ones that do it, 90 days from now, the direction of your business can be completely shifted. But it takes you making the decision that you're going to write in this law, that you're going to pick the number that you can live up to without fail, and then that you're going to live up to it. Now, I get asked all the time, Todd, you've been in the business for a long period of time. Like, I haven't had a bad year, okay? For like 34 of the 36 years I've been in this business has been booming. It's been good, both as a speaker and a trainer, as well as in the field. And I get asked, in fact, I was on a radio show 3 years ago, and the guy asked me this question 10 minutes into the interview. He said, okay, I got to know, what's the one reason why in 35 years of doing this, you haven't had a financial implosion? And I said, I can't answer your question. He goes, what do you mean? I go, well, because it's two reasons. I said, number one, I never let a day pass without doing some type of revenue producing activity. That means every day, regardless of how busy I am, I'm always reaching out to new people, generating new business, whether it's a customer or whether it's a distributor. Never does a day pass. If you have that, if you can live your life by that, where every single day, and I'm not going to put anybody into an uncomfortable position, but I promise you there's people here that have skipped many days and they haven't invited anybody. And that's normal. That happens because there's no accountability. There's no built-in accountability in this business. It's one of the reasons for 18 years almost I run 90-day accountability programs to teach people accountability, because it just doesn't exist. Your sponsor's not going to do it for you. I know your mom and dad's not going to do it for you. Your neighbor's not going to do it for you. You've got to do it for you. So when you understand, and the second thing I told this guy, I said, look, the reason I've made money year in and year out, and Michael knows this, I know he knows this because I'll reach out to Michael just to say what's up. You understand that the number one reason people buy or do business with you is because they like you, they trust you, they feel good about you. So one of the things that I am widely known for in the network marketing community is a guy that makes regular deposits. What does that mean exactly? That means that I reach out just to say, what's up, man? Hey, how's life? What's going on? Not, oh, by the way, are you ready to join my business again? Not, so here's the thing, like, you can't go to a bank and make a withdrawal from an empty account. Like, go into a bank tomorrow that you do not have an account in. So I bank with Bank of America. So if I walked into Wells Fargo tomorrow, walked up to the teller and said, hey, I'd like to make a withdrawal. And she's going to say, okay, do you have a card? I'm like, nope. Do you have an account number? I'm like, nope. And she's going to go, are you robbing us? I'm like, nope. And she's going to say, hey, look, honey, let me explain something to you. You need to start an account, deposit funds into that account. And then what you can do is you can withdraw funds that are the amount in the account. And we know how that works. So please don't go into a bank tomorrow and pull that, because you'll probably end up going to jail, and I don't want to see that. So, but it's the same thing with relationships. How can you make a withdrawal from an empty relationship account? If the only time that you call somebody or reach out to them is when you want to pitch them your business, they're not going to respond favorably. I remember calling the number one female income earner of all time in network marketing. This is before we became really good friends. This is probably 10 years ago. I called her and we chatted for like 10 or 15 minutes. And she's like, well, did you need anything? And I was like, and I had done trainings for her organization before. And I was like, no. And she's like, really? I'm like, yeah, no, I just called to see how the heck you were doing. And she's like, wow, that's really amazing. Now, do you think she's more or less likely to have me come train for her team based on the experience that she's had with me? She's way more likely. In fact, she's had me come and train for her team many times since then. So one of the things that you should be doing, and I did this literally all day today, I'm reaching out to people on my phone, calling people that I haven't talked to in 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, a year, texting them, calling them, saying, hey, what's up? I'd suggest like going through your phone tonight, look at your phone, start in the address book at the letter A, and start scrolling through until you find somebody that's been, I don't know, it's been a bit. Let's say it's been 3 months since you've had a conversation. You might get to the letter A and look at the first person in your phone and go, wow, I haven't talked to that person in 2 years. Can you imagine if you sent them the text, hey, Michael, Todd Falcone, wow, dude, it's been forever. How the heck are you? I haven't talked to you I don't even remember the last time. And he's like, oh my gosh, like, Falcone, dude, what's up? And then I would take it to a phone conversation, and I'm not using it as a pitch. It's like a relationship or a plant. Plants need to be watered, fertilized, and tended to in order to bear fruit. And so do relationships. So if you want to supercharge your recruiting, the more you stay connected with people that you know, in between times that you're presenting or talking to them about your products or your business, they're going to be way more receptive to the message. Now, this next one comes out of a great book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. The concept, by the way, if you haven't read that book, it's a classic. And he teaches a lot of great concepts in that book, but one concept in particular, and think about the title of that book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. How could you not want to buy that book just from the title? People say don't judge a book by its cover. I understand what that means, but man, when I read a title of a book, that either makes me want to buy the book or not buy the book. And that book, if that's not in your library, that should be a must. There's a concept called be genuinely interested, not interesting. Look, network marketers, including myself, we're notorious for verbally vomiting on people. You get into a company, you're all excited. You're like, oh my gosh, you found something where you can finally make a bunch of money and you got cool products and you're like, want to tell everybody about it. And you're like, blah, 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 right? I mean, I've been guilty of it. I know most people who get started. That's unbridled enthusiasm, right? Uncontrolled, unbridled enthusiasm. But what we've got to do, and Americans in particular are so bad at this, man. They're so bad at listening. They get into a conversation. Like if I was talking to you, I'm like, hey, how the heck are you? And you're like, oh, well, I'm doing pretty good, but the family, well, let me tell you about me. Me, 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 me. That's all the singing you're gonna get right there. The person immediately goes, wait a minute, you asked me a question, I began to answer you, and obviously you don't care. God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, to spend way more time listening and paying attention to what the person is telling you. If you can get someone talking about themselves, literally everything that you need to know about them will be revealed to you. They'll tell you whether they're, oh, I'm so tired all the time, or I'm so sick of my job, or I'm so stressed out, or like we're barely making ends meet. Like the door opening for you to go, well, now that you said that, I might have a solution for you, it's so much easier to recruit when you understand the concept of being genuinely interested, not interesting. Not that we don't want to be interesting. I mean, I find myself rather interesting at times, but I like to be a good listener and pay attention to what my prospects are telling me, because literally everything that you need to know will be revealed to you when you take the time to actually listen. Now, that picture with the 23 in that box, I think I wrote that. I am left-handed. I know that's my hand. I wrote that on the yellow pad about 15 years ago. I saved that photograph. I want you guys to do a quick little exercise for me. This is a test, okay? It's an easy test. And I've done this on stages now for 15 straight years. I want you to, if you're taking notes, which I hope you are, draw a little box on a piece of paper in your notes, your journal. And what I want you to do is I want you to write in the number of new people that you've talked to about Essante in the last 24 hours. Not how many follow-ups or how many people that you thought about or how many you alphabetized on your list or how many people on your team you called. How many actual reach outs did you do in the last 24 hours? And I mean, I don't need to ask. I'm not going to put anybody in a position, but some of you probably have a 0. That's not a good number. Okay. There should never be a day. I've already talked about this. There should never be a day where the number is 0. So if you do this, and if you were to just do this draw a box exercise, what you're basically asking yourself is, would I hire me? Okay. Would I hire me? Based on how I showed up today in terms of revenue producing, income producing activities, would I hire me? If the answer is 0, you're probably, not showing up the way that you need to be showing up. Like when Michael was doing the introduction, look, I'm very direct. Okay. You guys didn't come here to get bunch of fluff. You came here because you want to learn. I would rather be straight with you and honest with you and tell you the truth about what it takes to be successful in this business. It does require accountability. I've got a nice little phrase that goes along with that box. Double digits a day, keep the commission checks on their way. So what's the first double digit? 10, right? Does that mean you have to do 10 people, talk to 10 people a day every day? Otherwise you're not going to succeed in this business? No, not at all. But can you imagine what if the only thing you sought out to do is like, I'm gonna reach out to 10 people every single day in my business. That's my only job today is who do I get to go impact with Essante Organics, the products in the business. I'm gonna go find 2 people, 5 people, 10 people, whatever it is. If you did that every single day, you'll never have a problem with your check. You'll never have to worry about, can I afford it? And it's a very powerful exercise to tell whether you're being, you're doing the right kinds of activities, revenue producing activities. Another thing that, and this is probably the thing that troubles me, I would go as far as to say it bugs me more than troubles me, probably irritates me. As a matter of fact, that I hear from networkers all the time. They're like, oh, I want to get good at this business. I'm like, cool. That's a great thing that you want to get good. What are you doing to get good? And they're like, what do you mean? Well, I'm building my business. Well, that's cool. That's one way you can get good. You can learn from experience. But, what are you doing beyond that to get good? Well, I go to the conferences. I went to the Zoom with Todd Falcone that night with the colorful shirt on. Well, that's good too. But you have to understand, practice is critical. If you played a sport growing up, softball, baseball, soccer, tennis, wrestling, gymnastics, any kind of sport, what did you do before the game, the set, or the match? You went to practice. If I want to be good on the guitar, what do I have to do? I have to practice. My kid practices all the time. Both of my kids practice all the time for hours and hours a day. And they are both way better than, well, I never played the bass, but my kid on the guitar, 3 years ago, he couldn't hold a chord and he absolutely rips on a guitar. Why? Well, understand this. Like, I've heard the phrase, how you do one thing is how you do everything. I don't really believe that, but how you get good at one thing is how you get good at everything. So think about something that you're really exceptional at. Well, if you're really exceptional at something, whatever that is, let's say you're a great golfer. You didn't go out on the golf course the first day and you were, a scratch golfer. You went out there and hacked it up and shot 150 and then shot 140 and then you went to the practice facility. Like, if I go play golf, I spend at least an hour practicing, minimum an hour practicing before I play, because it's going to enable me to play a better game. My question to you is, how much time do you invest weekly on practicing to improve your skills? Well, what would you practice? Well, it might be a good idea to practice prospecting. Maybe get a partner, a friend, a teammate, and practice. Like, hey, give me the objection. I don't have the money. Okay, cool. Let's work on that. Or I don't have the time, or I need to think about it. Or how much money are you making? And if you practice all the things that might occur during a prospecting conversation, when it actually happens, you're going to be more prepared. So professionals, they practice more than everybody else, and that's why they're as good as they are. The other thing when it comes to this business is we have to learn, and it is kind of a learn thing. We have to learn to emotionally detach ourselves from the outcome. Look, you're going to always get more no's than you're going to get yeses, and you got to be able to accept that. If you look at, years ago, I looked at it this way. A guy told me, he goes, you know what? You should look at collecting decisions. You get paid, let's say you get paid $10 for every decision that you get, yes or no. So if you got 9 no's, well, you just made $90. And then the 10th one is a yes. Well, that person signed up. Well, you didn't technically get paid for every single no, but if you were to calculate the commissions you earned, you're actually getting paid for every decision that you collect. So problem is, what people do is they focus on the result or the outcome rather than focusing on the process. If you just focus on the process, and your job is to go out there and expose, invite, share what you're doing. Yes, no, maybe so. It doesn't matter what happens. And you just focus on continuing to exercise the right activities every single day. The results are going to come. But if you allow your prospects' decisions, if you allow your prospects' behavior to affect your future decision making, it's going to take you out of the game. Let me just tell you something. I'm pretty good at what I do, but I get no's all the time. I mean, as a network marketer in the field, I got no's. I got way more no's than I ever got yeses. Even as a speaker, a well-known speaker, that, like, there's not a lot of guys that do what I do. I get companies that don't hire me. If I have a company that doesn't hire me, does that mean I'm like, okay, I'm not going to prospect anymore? In fact, nope, I just go on to the next call. And I even to this very day, as a speaker, in order for me to fill up my calendar, I prospect on a regular basis. I'm prospecting differently than you are. I'm prospecting top industry leaders, company owners, C-level executives. That's who I talk to, but I still have to go expose me to companies that are not aware of who I am and what I do for their events that they might hire me for. So you got to emotionally detach yourself from the outcome. Most of us have probably heard the phrase facts tell, stories sell. I know that ingredients, especially with you guys, are really important, right? Pure, clean, organic. I mean, honestly, if all I want to know as a buyer is this stuff going to make me feel better? Is it going to do the job? I'm not going to read your ingredient deck. I know because you guys, who you are as a company, are pure, clean, organic, all of that. But as a consumer, the consumer, yeah, it's not like we don't care what we put into our bodies. Actually, there's a lot of people that really don't care what they put into their bodies, unfortunately. But what they really want is the result. So the best thing that you can do to sell more product and to recruit more people is to be a collector and teller of stories. So, you know, somebody, even if it's not your story, even if it's somebody sidelined to you, if it's somebody who got a great result, they had, I don't know, they had eczema and they started using something of yours and it went away, or they had headaches and they started taking this and it went away, or they had this problem and they were, you know, dealing with this and they took that product and the problem went away. Whatever it is, if people relate to stories more than they do ingredients. You're not going to go call somebody and say, let me read you the ingredient deck of all of the organic ingredients that are in this product and how many milligrams of each. I'm like, first of all, I'd probably fall asleep on you if you were doing that. I'd be less likely to buy. I would be more likely to buy if you shared a story like, man, I'm having such a hard time sleeping at night. And if you guys had a product that helped me to sleep better, and you're like, hey, man, I have a friend of mine that was dealing with the same thing. He was like Mr. Insomniac, like for years. He started taking this product and he's been taking it. The very first night he took it, he slept like a baby. He hasn't lived without it ever since. And he sleeps 8 to 10 hours a night. He's never slept like this in his life. I'm like, here's my credit card. So if you can get yourself in the habit of collecting and telling stories, you're going to be much better off. Let me just say this, when it comes to recruiting, most, if not all of your money is going to be made on follow through, on follow up. So I want you to rate yourself right now, just on a scale of 1 to 10. 1, I'm terrible at follow up. And 10, I'm amazing at follow up. I can't get any better. I'm not even a 10 at follow up. I'd probably give myself an 8.5, but give yourself a number. And I would suggest you doing this with anything that you do in this business, rating yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, and then going, how can I improve the results that I'm getting in my business? I'll give you an example. If I said to you, hey, or let's say I prospected you and I said, hey, here's my website, go take a look at it. And I asked you, hey, can I get back to you tomorrow? Or can I get back to you? Well, it's good that you ask the question. It's great that you ask a question. I mean, some people won't even bother following up. But let me teach something to you that is literally, it's one word that changes everything. If I said, can I get back to you? You can answer yes or no to that question. But if I said, when can I get back to you tomorrow morning? That word when changes the whole dynamics of the question. It turns the question into what's called, and I don't want to get too technical, but it's called a presupposition. So it presupposes that you can. So there is power in asking the right kinds of questions. So can I get back to you? It's better than not asking, I'll say that. But if I said, when can I get back to you tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow morning, that's infinitely more powerful. So knowing that most of your business is going to be made as a result of your follow-up, you want to make sure that you're getting yourself into the position of reaching out to people as soon as possible, as soon as they've looked at the information that you've gotten in front of them. And honestly, I don't know what tools that you guys have, but I would say you should be using whatever online or whatever offline tool that you have at your disposal. You can make a call, send a text, send them a personal email, direct message people on social media, people that you've already had some kind of conversation with, meet people in local networking groups. There's a lot of things. Honestly, there's prospects everywhere. Like when somebody says, I don't have anybody to talk to, I'm like, well, you know, go on the internet, go to a local networking group, get involved in a BNI, go to meetup.com and find a group that you vibe with. I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever been to meetup.com, but man, there's meetups for everything you can imagine. There's bicycle meetups, there's single mom meetups, there's book reading meetups, there's chess meetups, there's fishing meetups. I mean, the list is ridiculously long. You're going to find some group of people that, hey, I like to play chess. Cool. I don't play chess, but let's say you did, and you found a chess meetup. Well, you could go play chess and you go do one of the favorite cool things that you like to do. And now, and so you have something in common with that person. What happens when you're sitting down playing chess with somebody or doing whatever it is with somebody that you have something in common with? Well, what do you do? And so it presents opportunities for you guys to find prospects everywhere. I want to give you 5 ways to supercharge your retention before we wrap up tonight, okay? And we're going to kind of whip through these, okay? Number 1, because it's like, here's the thing. It's not about just getting people, getting customers, or getting new reps into your business. It's about keeping them. So there's a lot of training that's done on how to prospect, how to recruit, how to acquire customers. That's all good, and that needs to be trained on. But it's what do you do after the sale that matters? What do we do to keep the rep? What do we do to keep the customer? So number 1 is plug them into your leaders, your tools, and your training. So if I was a representative, if I was an organic influencer with you and I put you into the business, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get you introduced to my sponsor. I'm going to get you introduced to my sponsor's sponsor. I'm going to get you introduced to my sponsor's sponsor, and so on. I'm going to get you plugged into whatever the trainings are available, whatever tools that you guys use. I want to make sure that you're ready and prepared to do business. I'm not just going to sign you up and say, hey, man, good luck to you. I hope it works out well for you, because it's not going to work out well for the person. Number 2, and this is really important, getting somebody into action the moment that they sign up is one of the very best things that you can do. You don't want to send somebody on a training journey. Like, hey, get back to me next week, go through the website, analyze every product, read every ingredient deck, read every word on the website, and then we'll get you started. Like, if I signed you up right now, I'd introduce you to my leader. I'd make sure you knew what your website was. And I'm like, hey, who do you want to talk to right now? Let's go get a couple customers and a couple new people in your business today. And I'm going to go out there and work with you to help you feel more comfortable and confident and get you into action. Like, the best thing that you can do when you sponsor or enroll a new person, somebody comes in with one of these 4 Go Green packs that you're going to do by the end of the month. So you get one of those trips. Remember that promotion? Enroll 4 Go Green packs by the August 31st. You still got plenty of time. Make sure you're on a $100 point order for this month and next month. Boom, you're going someplace. How cool is that? I mean, shoot, I'd like to participate in that. We can get that done in a day. And then you got all the stories to share, right? So get them into prospecting day 1. I mean, think about this. You could sign somebody up tomorrow, help them go and roll 4 Go Green packs. They got their auto order this month, their auto order next month, and they want to trip their first couple days in the business. What a story is that to share? That's an amazing story to share. Number 3 is work with them to help them get to their first check and their first rank, okay? That, again, just a reiteration of that. That's not go send you out and go hope it works for you. I want to be actively involved in helping you to get started in the business. I have no problem, again, as a personal sponsor, like, hey, who's the most influential person that you know? Who's the most outgoing person that you know? Who's the guy or gal that wears the most colorful clothing? Michael. And I'm trying to be like Mike tonight, so I'm wearing color. So actually, I didn't go buy the shirt for tonight. I actually own this shirt, but I did have black on earlier, and I thought I'm coming into our Essante, so I'm going to wear some color tonight. So I think I got you. I got you, Michael, tonight. It's one of my favorite shirts, by the way. So, but getting involved with the person from day 1 is really, really important. And being, if you work to help a person not only get their funds back that they invested in the business, which is pretty easy to do, win a trip. I mean, think about this. You could get somebody started tomorrow, get actively engaged with them, help them go get 4 Go Green packs, help them get to their first rank, help them earn their first check, and help them earn a trip in the first few days of being in the business. That, again, is an amazing story to share. And it's way better when you do that by working with them rather than, again, sending them on their merry way. Number 4 is, and this is vitally important, is we want to always recognize accomplishments and activity. So if you're putting forth effort, I'm going to make a big deal about it. I'm going to, like, yeah, it shows you how educated I am. You got your first customer. So even a professional speaker will blow it every now and then. You go get your first customer and they buy one product. I'm going to make a big deal about your first product sale, because that's going to encourage you to make another sale. you go enroll your first rep, or any rep for that matter. I'm gonna congratulate you. I might send you a little handwritten card. Congratulations, that's awesome, great job! Exclamation point, exclamation point. Drop it in the mail to you. You're getting a handwritten note from me. You got recognized in the Facebook group. You got text messages from other team members because I let them know that you got your first customer, your first rep, or you hit a rank. I'm going to make an even bigger deal about it. When you hit rank, when you hit the next rank, when you hit the next rank, don't ever forget to recognize even the simple and smallest of accomplishments. That's super critical. And the last one here is help them to clearly see their future and constantly remind them of what they told you that they want. Okay. So when I sit down with you in the beginning, before we ever get you started, I'm like, what do you want to accomplish here? Why are you doing this business? Well, to get out of debt. Okay, that's cool. That's getting back to zero as a start. But really, what do you see for yourself in the future? I mean, like, what does your ideal life look like? If everything went right for you and you had amazing success in this business, what would your life look like? Oh, I would be driving, this, and I would be living in this this neighborhood that I've always wanted to live in. In fact, I've had my eye on this house for a long time. I'd be taking trips with my family to this place and that place, and you get them to describe to you, and I'm literally writing down. You're sharing this stuff with me. I'm writing it down, because on a bad day, I'm going to come back to you and I'm going to say, hey, Michael, you remember when you said that you wanted to live in this neighborhood? If by you giving up right now, is that going to get you any closer to what you said that you wanted? So we always want to remind people of what they told you that they wanted. And that's another way of keeping those people engaged, because the truth is, we're all going to have a bad day. I've had bad days. Even in the last month, I've had bad days. It's not like, oh, once you make a bunch of money, you don't have bad days. People have bad days. People have bad weeks. Sometimes they have bad months. Sometimes they have bad years. But we don't want to have consecutively bad years. So if we're constantly reminding our people of what they told us they wanted to achieve, I have them really describe it to me and be super I mean, just very descriptive, and tell me exactly be clear with me. I want them to see it. I want them to smell it. I want them to feel it. I want them to taste it. And that way they're so attached to their why, their reasons for doing the business in the first place, that any negative prospect or any bad day, they'll be able to bust through that, because what's on the other side of the roadblock or the obstacle is so much bigger, so much more vividly clear than what this little bump in the road that's in front of them. They'll just knock it over and go, and they'll keep moving forward. But they won't if we don't constantly remind them of why they came here in the first place. So those are 5 little bonus things that I want to throw in there on supercharging your retention in addition to your recruiting. I got a couple things that I want to leave you guys with real quick before I split. I wanted to talk about this tonight, but I didn't have time to get into it. There's a QR code on your screen. This is actually a free download. It's 75 ways to generate leads. One of the biggest challenges I hear from people is, I don't know, I'm running out of people to talk to. Where do I find people to talk to? This is a completely free download. You can see it on your screen. There's no strings attached. You can get it to you instantly. I would encourage every single person here tonight to go download this. It's literally 75 great ideas for generating leads online and offline, how to meet new people, how to make new connections, so you always have people to talk to about your business. And I would encourage you guys to download that. You can snap the QR code with your iPhone right now if you want, or it's toddfalcone.com/75-ways. And I do want to leave you with one final thing. So one of the biggest problems that people also have is, what do I say? Like, how do I get this person to be interested in my business? Most of the time when a new person gets started in the business, you're probably handed a script, like some type of conversation that you're going to have with an individual, so they know what to say. Because like most new people have never done this before. It's like, okay, this is cool. I get it. These products totally make sense. I'm all organic already anyhow, and this just vibes with me. If I can build a business around organic products, I'm game. But how the heck do I go talk to people about this? What do I say? Well, that's where scripts come in. So years ago, I wrote a book called The Little Black Book of Scripts. Okay. It is my all-time best-selling training program that I've ever produced. And I produced a bunch of them. Well, the last 3-4 months, I did a complete rewrite of that book. And we literally just released it this last week. It's a digital download, so that's also instantly available to you. and it literally puts the words in your mouth for every situation that you're ever going to find yourself in as a network marketer. How do you talk to somebody that you haven't spoken to in years? How do you talk to the friend that you talk to every day about your business and you just joined it? How do you talk to a referral? How do you engage somebody in a social media conversation? If I was going to send a text to somebody, what should the text say? If I was going to send an email to somebody, what should the email say? If I was going to DM somebody on Instagram, what should I say? If I was going to message somebody on Facebook, what should I say? I literally give you the exact words, phrases, and questions for every conceivable situation that you're going to find yourself in. I know I did an exceptional job with the original Little Black Book. I've already gotten reviews from top leaders in the field who got this thing last week when we launched it. And the feedback that we've gotten on this thing is nothing short of amazing. And not only do you get the book, but I also go through the entire thing with you and I teach you how to use those scripts. I'll give you this. I don't have a slide for it, but I'll give you the site. You can write this down. It's toddfalcone.com/guide, GUIDE. Okay. TODDFALCONE.com/guide, GUIDE. Go to that website. This thing is priced at a price point that literally anybody, it doesn't matter whether you started yesterday in network marketing, you've been around for a long time. It's a very affordable training that you can also instantly access. And it's gonna help you be a better recruiter. It's gonna help you be a better communicator, and it's gonna help you to grow a much bigger business. So I appreciate the opportunity of being here with you guys tonight, Michael, JJ, Angie, all the rest of you. Blessings. I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna take us off screen share real quick and do that. And just say thank you. I appreciate the opportunity of being here. Hopefully you guys got some good stuff out of tonight. And most importantly, you make use of this. It's what you do with the information that makes the most difference. There's a phrase like, knowledge is power. That was a phrase that was coined by Sir Francis Bacon in the 1800s. He's dead and he can't argue with me because he died back in like 18 something. So, but if he was here today, I'd argue with him and I'd say, no, man, you're wrong. Knowledge is powerless unless it's put into use. So it's what you do with the information that makes the difference. So whatever you learned from tonight, make sure that you take it, that you apply it into your business. That's going to be what makes the biggest difference for you. There's a lot of students in the business. It's great to be a student, but it's way better to be a student and an action taker. So back to you guys. I appreciate the opportunity of being here. Thanks so much.
Well, thank you very much, Todd. And, I wanted to get on your level, so I had to quick go change shirts.
Oh, looking good, man. I love it.
Right. So anyway, guys, I'll tell a story about Todd. I'll tell you how I met Todd. So I don't even know if he remembers, but I met Todd before there was all the real social media. We met in an AOL chat room.
Oh, that's funny.
And we were, and you couldn't speak in there. It was just typing and you couldn't like just say something to somebody. You just had to watch this stuff flying up and flying up. So, I mean, that is how we met the very first time, and then we've been friends ever since. That was back in the 90s, man. So yeah. So, I mean, thank you for taking the time to be here. I appreciate it. And, it's really important what he said. You got to put this stuff to use. Write down that number in the box. My brother and I learned that 39 years ago. So it still applies today. It's what you're doing. What did I do today to help build my business? And I think with his free download, you'll find different ways to generate some leads and things like that. But I tell people it's a simple business, but it's not easy. You got to apply yourself, and you got to shift your mindset from employee mindset to actual entrepreneurial mindset, or owning your own business. And your business is your job is your business. You got to show up every day. And the minute that you slip is the minute you start falling down that hill. And because it was easy to slip then, now it's easy that day. It takes 30 days of disciplined behavior that goes over and over and over again to become a habit. And once you do that, and this does become a habit, it's like you won't go to bed at night until you've talked to your two people. It's just the way it works. So thank you again, Todd.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you. Appreciate everybody.
My pleasure.
Joining us here tonight. So, hey guys, God bless you. God bless your businesses. And oh, wait, let's do that over again. God bless you, God bless you, God bless your families. Then will God bless your businesses here. So yeah, so you guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And I thank you again. And we'll have Todd back. We'll have him back. Definitely. So thank you guys and take care.
Thanks all.